In this video, I'm going to explain to you what you should never, ever, ever, and I mean it, put on a credit card application and why you aren't getting those instant approvals that you so desperately want. And I'm going to keep it short, sweet, and filled with information you probably never heard. So make sure you watch this video till the end. Make sure you stay focused because I must warn you, if you skip any part of this video, it's probably going to be the reason why you're instantly denied for every credit card application. And now for some positivity. Welcome back if you've been to my channel before. If you haven't, now's your time to become a cool kid. Smash that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, ring that bell because I upload a video on the daily about how to improve your credit score, how to maximize your finances, and be smarter with your money. And real quick, just wanted to say, don't be afraid to comment. Don't be afraid to leave your opinion. I want to hear everyone's thoughts on exactly what you put on a credit card application in order to be instantly approved. And plus, I answer every single comment, I answer every single DM because my goal is to help as many people as possible. Alright, now for the real reason you're here. And to make this video simple to follow, I'm going to break it up into personal credit and business credit card applications. I don't care if you're Mark Cuban or you're Elon Musk. Okay, well that's a little different. But you get the point. You should not be putting that you're self-employed. If you do this, you raise a huge red flag to the underwriting department because they're going to say to themselves, well, we don't know if Nick's going to be paid next week. He's self-employed. What if the business goes under? With the pandemic, with the recession floating in the air, there's too many things going around to leave the boxes left unchecked. So you're probably thinking, well then Nick, what do I put down? You want to make sure you're putting down the name of your business as your employer. If you own Rob's Detailing Service, put that down as your employer. You want to put down you're employed by Rob's Detailing Service. And please, make sure you're putting the right amount of income down because these credit card applications, they are processed by a computer system, not a person themselves. Which brings me to the next big point. You need to make sure you're putting down the right amount of income based on what's called the debt to income ratio. If you don't do this, they're going to deny your application. If you don't do this, they're going to put your application for review and then probably deny your application. So you need to make sure you're doing these two things when you're evaluating your credit report and your income to make sure you're putting the right amount down on the application. If you make $1,000 a month and you have $700 in bills, then you're probably going to be seen as a risk to the credit card company because that means you have $300 left over. In the same way, if you make $1,000 and have a student loan, a car payment, a mortgage, you're going to be seen as a risk. So you're probably thinking, well then Nick, do I lie to them? No, I never encourage anyone to lie in the application, but there is a few things you could do to help you. The first thing, you want to make sure you're putting down your monthly expenses as a small percentage of what you make so that debt to income ratio is very low. On the other hand, if you really don't make much money and you need help supplementing that income on the application, you can do these two things. One, most banks like Capital One allow a person to add a household income or a secondary part-time income in addition to what they make. Now, what does that mean? You could add your spouse's income. You could add someone that lives with you that could help you pay the bills to your credit card application. Yes, this is legal. Yes, you should do it. Yes, this will increase your chance of being instantly approved. The second thing you could do, most companies, again, will use Capital One as an example, lets a person use child support, lets a person use any supplementary small income from another source on the application. Now, some banks are different. Some banks don't do this. However, most underwriting departments do this, so you want to double check on the application. And the most important thing to keep in mind is you want to make sure that you're able to justify this income. You never want to lie in an application. You want to make sure you could back it up. Because if they ask for proof of income and you can't back it up, well, you're probably going to be blacklisted. You're probably going to ruin that relationship with that bank or credit card company. And they may arrest you. Okay, they may not arrest you, but you get the point. Which brings me to my next point. every bank and underwriting department is different, especially when it comes to business credit card applications. So let's take a look at those. When it comes to business credit, one of the most important things that you have to keep in mind is how you classify your business. And this is one of the biggest mistakes that I see people make on a business credit card application. Let's use my business for an example. I help people raise their credit score and choose the right credit card for them to maximize their finances by providing one-on-one consulting. So as a little thank you to you for watching the video this far along, I'm going to put a link to my free credit growth course at the pinned comment below. Now, when it comes to categorizing the business on the business credit card application, you need to make sure you're putting down the right category for your business, and you need to make sure that business is, one, not showing up as a high risk, and two, showing that it's credit worthy and has the ability to pay back that loan, so you get the best chance of being instantly approved. So now let's use my business as an example. If I put on the credit card application for my business that I'm a credit repair company and most of my clients struggle to pay their bills, which technically means I may not even be getting paid, the bank is going to be less inclined and less motivated to approve my application. Which brings me to my next point. The bank is not looking at your business category, and they don't even really know your business category, but instead they're assigning it a special code. The bank assigns a code to your business that's derived from the category, which means the bank gives your business a category code. Depending on the type of business you have, you get what's called an NAICS or an SIC number, which basically tells the bank, hey, this is a high-risk business, or hey, this is a low-risk business, and we have great odds of being paid back if we give this person a credit card application or a credit card instant approval. And by the way, you can Google these codes right now, and if you use the wrong code for a high-risk business, it's probably going to be the reason why they instantly deny your application. Which brings me to the main point of your business category. You want to prove your credibility. You want to prove your credit worthiness. You always want to put the ball in their court. What do I mean by that? If you have a company that does consulting, you want to emphasize that you do consulting for high growth businesses that are also making a lot of money. On top of that, you want to make sure the bank knows what you're using the money for. If they ask you and you put down that you and your cousin Vinny are flying down to Miami to open up the next big strip club, they're probably not going to give you the money. In the same way, if you were to say, hey, I'm using this money for my marketing efforts. Hey, I'm using this money for business expansion so we can make double, triple, 4 times the amount of revenue next year and do future business with your bank. They are going to be so motivated to approve that application, they might even do it on the spot. Which brings me to my last point and the most important point of this video, because if you do everything I said right, but you don't do this next thing perfectly, it's going to be the exact reason why your approval is, one, going to be held up for review, or two, it's going to be instantly denied. You need to, and I mean you need to, make sure that your personal information is matching up on your credit report to what you put down on your credit application. If you didn't know, every single credit report has a personal information section. It's going to say things like your name, your date of birth, and your address. If you have an old address on your report, you want to update it. And if you don't update it, make sure you're using that old address on your business application or your personal application, because the banks need to make sure it verifies within the system. If you don't update the address, it's going to immediately trigger a red flag and probably immediately trigger a review of the application. So, if you need help updating an address, if you need help checking your report if there's any negative information, that's going to cause you to be instantly denied or hold up your application for review, I'm going to offer you something I've never offered before. If you send me a DM on Instagram or comment on one of my posts, which I answer every single DM and every comment, I'm going to offer you a free credit evaluation. I'm going to look at your report. I'm going to personally look at it line by line to make sure everything matches up, and I'll even offer you help if I have some time. But keep in mind, I'm only going to look at so many applications because I want to make sure this offer is fair for everyone watching this video. And if you're not interested, that's perfectly okay. But I would recommend watching this next video I'm going to put on the screen that's going to tell you exactly what to do if you're ever denied for a credit card application. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.